Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do a nice large winter painting with not too many colors. It should be very interesting and a lot of fun. And if you're enjoying this and you'd like to see more, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more painting videos. All right, let's get started. We'll start off today here with a 2-inch brush. I'm going to take just a little bit of white and blue and red and black together. I honestly can't remember the last time I had so few colors out on my palette. I mean, I'm the kind of guy that puts them out the same way each time. It's just what I do, but nah, not today, because I don't want any green, yellow, stuff like that in my painting. This is a very cold painting, and yeah, this is the way you gotta do it. Okay, so I've got my clear gel and white mix up here, and I'm going to even wipe some of that paint out of that brush, because all we have to work with here are tones, very few colors. There we go. Just drop in the starting of a little misty sky. Just the starting of it. Now we're gonna go ahead and scrub in some clouds up here. Bet you can guess what color I'm using. Yep, everything all mixed together. In fact, I'm guessing that almost, if not everything, almost everything in this painting will be some mix of these three colors, if you count black as a color. Really, we've got blue and we've got red. That's it. Otherwise, it's black and white. You could do this in black and white. I'm just not going to. I think a little bit of color change here and there is okay. It's a good thing. There. Oh, I like this. See that? Something totally different. Let me stand back and get a look. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Get some of these clouds working in. I'm not too concerned about limiting the amount of paint quite as much as I usually do, because it's all kind of the same tone. We'll just change the value of stuff. There'll be a little less highlighting up here than normal. It looks pretty good though, doesn't it? We'll drop that a little lower. We got our mountains. In fact, we can even just take a second here and sketch in our mountains. I think one will go right about there. I said there's the center. Just go to the right of center. How's that? Cool. Maybe something way up here. Now, one of the most effective ways to get a lot of detail in a mountain really quick is to use a 3/4 brush. You can do this with a detail round, but you have to use it with you have to do it. That's a much better word for this. You'd have to do it with a synthetic brush. It comes to that snappy little chisel edge, which is exactly what we need. That's cool. And it kind of comes down like that. See that? That's sort of the start of my mountain. I'd like to see that maybe come up just a little taller. The frame probably will cover that, which is not a bad thing. Gives us a nice sense of kind of framing the painting, bringing your eye in. Each mountain has a slightly different color. This one has a little more cold blue in it. I like that. But anyway, so you just come along and you slide your brush like this. This works, but oh, am I gonna say it? Yeah, I'm gonna say it. It works better when the background's a little bit wet. Not terribly sticky. So if you get just a little more paint back here, you might be slightly better off for this particular step. But you didn't hear that from me, right? See how that just, when you have a pure edge there, see it's crisp like that? It's because it's slightly more paint back there than I usually put. Well, there you go. Hopefully we won't have any trouble. If we do, we'll have to get out the paper towel and we'll have to wipe this whole area down. So hopefully we don't run into that. We'll see. But we very well may. There, so I just tossed those different colors in. Very nice. All right, I decided before going any further, I'm gonna wipe this area down. Now that I have my crisp, clean mountain tops, I'm gonna come just underneath and sort of get rid of some of this paint. Really get rid of it as much as I can. Now this is a shop towel. I don't know if I've mentioned it yet. Have I? I can't remember. Anyway, this is a shop towel. You get them in these little, let me show you, these little blue rolls. They're just like paper towels, but they don't fall apart. So anyway, invest a couple bucks in them. You don't have to wipe your brushes on them, but certainly use them for the canvas, because they don't leave the little shavings in there that you have to pick out later. Now it's time to start adding in our highlight. And you kind of go as far as you can, and then we might have to wipe the canvas again. It just depends. But I've got my 3/4 brush. I've got just a little bit of white that's been tinted with some of this muddy blue, just for the sake of keeping it, not pure. Actually, tell you what. While we're going here, let me just grab a little bit of the towel, and I'm just gonna rub this off one more time. It looks a little thick here still. I was, messing with the edges and stuff, and I guess I got more paint there than I needed. I'm just gonna take a little bit off, not much. There we go, I like that better. So it's kind of fun for me to do that with you guys. You can see how, how I stop and wipe things off. I know it seems like my paint just magically sticks, but that's not magic. It's just a little bit of paper towel wiping. There. But I know it's just something that, especially people who are new to oil painting, I mean, it's kind of, I don't watch a lot of other people do this wiping thing. So I don't know if it's super common or not. You guys probably have a better idea. But anyways, beginners, I would imagine they just, I don't know, not something you think to do, but once you learn to do it, boy, does it make all the difference. There. That's good. See, I'll just start kind of blocking in large shapes, and then we can refine this, pulling smaller and smaller shapes out from these clumps of paint. See that? Almost just laying it down first. The light is coming across like this. Now, probably the most important step we're going to do to this mountain, and probably all the mountains really, because they're all going to be done similar, is dropping in these little dark rocks, especially in the shadow side, but a little bit on the highlight side too. What this is going to do is help to form our mountains using the dark. And this is really kind of a fun little technique. I just got my detail round brush. You can do this with just about anything, it just depends on the size. Obviously, you match the tool to the size. This is a fairly small mountain back here. And this is where you kind of get to tell the story of your little mountain. See that? You can, and I literally just thought about this. You could take this and connect it up and make that one big thing, or you could simply leave a little gap, which is what I'm going to do. That looks nice. See that slowly, but it won't be too bad because it just, it didn't take that long. It's slow, but we don't have that much to do. Cool. All right, kind of continue on in that. And look, you can break up an area if you think maybe too much vertical. Break it up with a line going this way. This is just straight black and whatever mud was in my brush, just to help lighten it up some. Really just black. Nice. Look at how see how that makes a difference? Kind of create a shadow here. On this peak here, create a bit of a shadow. We may need to re-highlight, doesn't matter. There, I like that. In fact, yeah, let's re-highlight that. The top of this later maybe. But I'm just gonna make a new angle. There, and I like that. Watch what we can do now. We'll wipe the brush out, take a little highlight, and highlight it different. See that? Oh, I like that better. So you just change it, play around with your mountain. Believe me, you won't get it right the first time. Well, if you do, let me know. That would be kind of crazy. There. That looks good. Then maybe just grab some more black, keep going. With a soft purple, we're gonna just bring out a few of these shadow lines. And you can see I just took a blender brush actually and just quickly mushed here at the bottom. There's a little bit of, there's still a little bit of rough areas up here that I need to fix. But I put this paint on really quick, just scrubbed it on, the white, and then I've been sitting here for the past few minutes just kind of picking it up and moving it with my little brush here, and that seemed to speed things on a little bit. You're all kind of building layer on layer, and you got to have this nice foundation of light and darks and details and all that stuff in order for this painting to look good. I hope that makes sense. You can't just get it. What I'm trying to say is you can't just get up here and do one brush stroke and think it's going to look amazing. It might look pretty good, really, but if you want to bring your paintings to the next level, which is kind of what I'm trying to do, trying to show you, you really got to sit here and put in a little more effort, and emphasis on little. It's just not that. It's not difficult. It just takes an extra second. There, and it's fun. It's really not a competition on how many paintings we can crank out. Make it a competition on how good your paintings can get. How about that? Cool. So anyway, just gonna stick around here doing this sort of thing. I may or may not add some extra rocks. I probably will. I'm trying to leave some of that underpainting coming through. It's pretty dark. But I may add some rocks. But I'm certainly looking at my harsh brush marks and strokes, trying to blend those away, trying to get rid of those and make it a little smoother. I mean, it's a mountain, so we can see a little bit of that canvas texture is okay. A couple of brush strokes are okay, but not too many. It is far away. If you get too many cracks in this mountain, it'll look too close. So save those maybe for this one. How's that? Now, as you can see, I'm just adding in a little snow here to this mountain. Remember, we wiped this area down, so there's not much to mix. It's gonna go on pretty clean. I'm just layering it on with the 3/4 brush, and then we'll pull it around with, let me see if I can get it just a little brighter up here. Oh, that's even better. There we go. And we'll pull it around with the detail round brush. There we go. I'm gonna kind of go about halfway, a little less than halfway, do different things. I'm not going to come all the way down. Instead, we're gonna break it up. It'll help to make the mountain just seem a little more interesting. There. So you just kind of place the paint down, and let me find that detail round brush. And then you should be able to just take it, and there we go, and just pull it. And see, as you pull it, it mixes with what's on the canvas, what little is on the canvas, right? If you do this and you have too much paint down, then oh boy, mud. Yeah. Anyway, this looks pretty good. Now, as you can see, I went ahead and set up a little snow field here. Not a whole lot to it, just a little bit of white paint for the most part. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and drop in some trees back here. I'm gonna do this pretty quick because a lot of these are gonna be covered up. Actually, don't want to go too light with them. I'll go a little darker. There we go. Pretty much the same as the shadow up here in the mountains. There. Good. So we'll just do this over and over and over again. We can actually get out the fan brush and get a lot of this done. Let's do it and get a lot of this done way, way faster because this is acceptable because of, there we go, because of our mist that we haven't put in yet, that we're going to put in, will really help to cover this up. So why bother spending, 30 minutes? Yeah, it wouldn't take that long, but a good 10 minutes just doing nothing but that kind of tree when you can get in here and do this all in 2 seconds using a fan brush. Look at that, just in talking to you, I've already finished this back little area. There, that's good. And then when we float our mist, I think those will look like little convincing little trees, I think. Yikes, we'll see, won't we? There. Don't make the mistake of getting in here and just doing one stroke. Get over here and do a lot of strokes because this is soft in the background. You can do the single stroke trees close to the foreground. You got to have this blurriness back here and short strokes. That looks good. See that? It's already representing a little tree field back there. Take a little white even. You can give the addition of just a touch of snow. This is really easy. You just drag your brush and let it cut through. There. Just a little white paint. Actually a little blue in there too. Great. And then just to maybe, there, just cut that off. Just to add a little extra variety. Some shadows here in the snow maybe, I don't know. That looks pretty good. Maybe let's see what we can do about while we're going. Getting us, yeah, some trees with this brush. This works out okay too. So we'll do a combination, how's that? And maybe we can do some more detailed ones in a second once we're done floating our mist. Now with our blender brush, I'm going to drop in a lot of mist here. This is obviously, well, not obviously, this was the plan from the beginning of the painting here. It's pretty decent, right? Helps to kind of add a little extra dimension to this area. In fact, I would like to almost totally float this mountain out here on the right-hand side. Almost totally. Make that super bright right here. Just make it interesting. See that? Oh yeah. Look at that. Good. And obviously this is going to take a few minutes. This down here is super easy. As you get up into the mountain, you want to be a little more careful. It's a beautiful soft blender brush though. If you haven't given it a try, give it a try. It's a good brush. And it lets you do stuff like this while the canvas is very wet. There, that looks good. Maybe a little right up in here. There. And we'll kind of sneak it in and around the rest of this too. Let's slide over here and do some more. Now we'll take our 3/4 brush, and I've got a little bit of pink here. You maybe can't tell it's pink, but it is. And the reason I'm trying to, and you can see I underpainted here with a little bit more of a red tone than before. You know, this is very cold. Starting to get a touch warmer. See, one of the ways it will help to draw this foreground section, which is like a big cliff, and you're on this cliff looking down into the valley, and then up to the mountains. Anyway, the point is that this is what's going to create that beautiful sense of depth in the painting, right? Because red's a foreground color, it comes forward, it's just the way it is. So I really think that'll be nice. So just make sure you have a little bit more red in the foreground than you do in the background. Really, you shouldn't have much of any red in the background, right? Yeah. Cool. I'm not gonna go crazy with this, just a little bit of snow here. Nice. Actually, the important spot would be this. Oh, it's pretty thick and wet there, so we're getting toward the end of the painting, aren't we? There. That edge is important. That's fun. I love seeing how paintings come together right here at the end. Now, one of the last things that we're going to do up here is really detail out. You can see I just threw in a quick little tree. We'll detail out this tree. And I'm just kind of using the side of the brush. If you go straight in, it gives you a different texture. That's a great texture. I'm just trying something different is all. Well, actually not trying something different. I do this a lot, and this is nothing new, but just a different way to do it. I like it. It kind of makes it look slightly closer, which is the reason I'm doing it. There, nice and thick. See, it's okay to get a little globby because you want this to look fairly solid on the top of the limbs, because that's where the snow is piled up, right? That makes sense. You gotta do what makes sense, right? That's for sure. Bring it all the way out to the left because you'll want to put a little highlight over the top of your shadows. Cool. Looks about right. And then maybe some on this little guy over here. Just the limbs are hanging in on this one. Now we'll finish this tree up just with a little bit of snow on the left-hand side. I've got a lot of paint in this brush. Probably the most amount of paint of the day. That's because this is really the last thing. We're not going over this again, so we can put on as much texture as we want. There. And this is an oil painting, and people pay more for extra texture, don't they? So we'll just raise the price a little. Oh boy, yeah, we're getting close to the end. There, I'm going pretty slow, making sure that I build it up in such a way that looks realistic and, you know, that fits with the painting, getting a nice, convincing build-up of highlight. See, like right here, you want to bring that out, make these branches really look like they're covered in snow. A lot of the time we do paintings that are not so snowy, even when they have snow. Not this one. This is like, where's the ground? Snowy. All right, well, I think we're done. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out our website, DVDs, and brush line. Thanks for watching.